Hi guys, welcome to Truth Talkin Thursday. This is Jim, I'm Jane, and we've just been having quite the spirited discussion, and I think it kind of stemmed from mother.
Spirited, I like that.
That's a nice word. And
She was going to hurt me.
I was not. Anyway, I think it kind of stemmed from Mother's Day. So Mother's Day just happened, and Jim does not like when people question whether Father's Day is important as Mother's Day. So from that, and I assure you, Jim, fathers are every bit as important as mothers. It's equal. They're equally important in a kid's life. There you go. I said it. So, in a nutshell, this spirited discussion went from that to a parent's role in a kid's life. And by that, I guess Jim made the comment that when you choose to become a parent, you don't have a life outside of that. And I took exception to that because I feel like...
It was like hitting a bare nerve, actually.
Yeah, that's when I bit him. No, I'm just kidding. There was no biting. There was no teeth that came together to gnaw at anything.
A snarl. But...
there was not even a snarl.
Okay.
So, anyway, I think that there's balance in everything. And I know for myself, my parents were very dedicated parents. I was always with my parents, went to church with them, went to their friends' places with them. There was nowhere that my parents went that my sisters and I could not go. And so I think that's probably kind of folded over into my life when I had my children. And my children were always with me too. And I will further that by saying that is not how my spouse at the time, ex, I guess, I don't like, anyway, at the time I was married and my companion at the time did not feel the same way. And that caused some contention between us. And I think that's where Jim and I kind of, I think we actually agree, but I was just taking exception maybe to, I don't know, the wording or something, because I think that it's important for moms to have mom time, dads to have dad time, mom and dad to have time together, as well as time as a family. I think those are very, very important things, and it doesn't have to be something major. It can be something as simple as a date night, or as Jim said, it can be going to a movie or going out with your friends to the casino. There's nothing wrong with that. As parents, to do things like that without your children. But it's the continual doing things. It seems like it's gotten quite easy for families to enlist the help of the grandparents. And I have heard comments from grandparents as well. It appears to me like frustration, where they're saying, I've already done this. I've done my time. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thoughts?
Oh, many.
Oh, no.
And we have to keep them inside of 10 minutes. Well, first of all, I probably need to clear the air a little bit here in terms of what I said.
Did I misquote you?
You didn't misquote me.
Ha!
Maybe misrepresented what I said, but you didn't misquote me. I agree with most of what Jane's saying, and basically what we were talking about earlier was somewhat similar to what she had put out there. First of all, I'm not convinced that that everybody thinks that dads are important. I certainly don't think that that's the case in terms of some segments of the feminist movement. I think that they would just as soon see us gone from the planet.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Well, I understand that too, and they should understand that, but that's not where they're coming from, and that doesn't keep them in the headlines. So, and I really don't care whether the feminists like that or not, but the idea is until we get to the point where dads matter as much as mums and mums matter as much as dads, we're always going to have a disagreement around the roles that parents play and what they should be doing and not doing and all that kind of thing. So that stance really isn't anything new for folks, some of the folks that know me out there, but dads do matter, and there's an awful lot of research that says, and I'm not a big research kind of guy, because I think you can say anything, you can do any kind of research and make it say whatever you want is in terms of correlating the information and an outcome. So I much prefer the anecdotal part of it. But then there's the idea that I'm sort of supporting the idea of having no life outside of being a parent, and that's I think what I said was that being a parent should be the number one priority of any parents. The child should be the number one priority of any family, and the children should be.
But Jim, you don't mean by that, do you, that the kid rules?
No,
that
not
whatever
at all.
the kid
No.
wants to do, the kid gets to do.
No.
Because I think that's where some confusion comes in. Because I think some parents believe or think they're supposed to believe that whatever their kid wants to do, they should let them, because now's the time. They're young. Now's the time for them to experience everything that they might be interested in.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't agree with that at all. But I do think that if little Johnny has an interest in playing basketball, we should make the effort to make sure he gets an opportunity to do that. I think if he wants to take on golf, and if he wants to take on hockey and baseball and soccer and badminton and knitting, and I mean, you can't you can't allow your child to run your whole social life and your whole being. I agree with that. I mean, and there does have to be a balance. There's no question about that too, because parents need a life too. My concern is, and my observation is, that a lot of parents, and especially young parents, put their kids' needs second, third, and fourth behind their own sort of sense of entitlement. Well, I'm entitled to this. I'm entitled to go out and do that. I'm entitled to, I don't need the kid around all the time. The kids are sponges, and they need to learn, and they need to learn by being around their parents. So for me, if you're not going to make your kid the number one priority in your family life, the idea of putting your family together, then why have them? Why have kids at all? Until you're ready to make that commitment as a parent, to teach, to instruct, to discipline, to teach life skills, to all those sort of things. And in order to do all of those things, you have to have a good relationship, a tight, strong relationship with your kids. So that's what I'm saying, and I'm saying that a lot of parents don't do that. They put their kids second, third, fourth, and they don't do it on purpose, and they don't mean to say you're not important. But when you're a kid, you recognize the idea that, geez, I haven't talked to my dad in 3 days.
So, as young parents, we are making our children take a back seat, or a trailer ride, or a bus ride.
Stagecoach, yeah.
By doing what specifically? Like, are you saying that we're putting them on the back burner because
it's important for us to be on the front burner.
Our parents are taking them to their extracurricular activities that we should be taking them to.
Yes,
that's one reason.
Certainly part of it.
And you mentioned because we think we're entitled to this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
I think there has been a very large emphasis put on mindfulness and meditation and self-awareness and self-preservation. And I think that it's possible that may have gone too far.
Oh, I don't think it's possible. I think it's exactly what's happened, and
it makes it hard for us to focus on really what our duties and responsibilities are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's our responsibility to work and provide for ourselves and those that are in our family circle, but to what extent?
Well, I mean, if I think back to the time when I was a little kid, and I can't remember that far back.
Whoa!
Okay, well, I just thought I'd fill that in before you had a chance. Anyway. We would go away on family vacations. Today, what happens is mom and dad go to Hawaii and the kids go to summer camp. They don't, you know, if, and now if that's balance, then it sucks. So and that's what I'm saying. Well, but the parents would say, well, we worked hard all year, so we deserve to go away on a vacation like that. And Hawaii is where we've never been there before, so we'd like to go, and so on and so on. Well, yeah, gosh, I would like to go to Kathmandu. I would like to go to the Machu Picchu. But it's what happens inside the boundaries of that home that are important, and how we treat our kids, and we too many times we put the kids second or third in terms of what we think they need, or what we think they can get away without having, and all that kind of stuff, so that I can have, or we can have, what it is we think we need, or what we're entitled to doing. So
the family relationship is extremely important. The family relationship is the core of our whole society, and it affects everything we do back then, right now, and in the future. And I think that Jim made some very wise comments, and I think we would all do well to think about that. So in that note, have a great week, and we will see you next week.
thanks for stopping by.